I like to say there are two great male privileges. Firstly, a guy can basically be a waste man till he's like 30 and still turn his life around and have an amazing life. You can spend all those years playing Xbox and still turn it around. And then secondly, a guy has complete control over his attractiveness. So many guys can go from like a 2 out of 10 to like a 10 over a couple of years. It's such a gift for guys to be able to have this amount of control. So when guys get stuck in this question of like, how do I meet an amazing girl? How do I attract all these amazing women? Well, they're going about it the wrong way. If you want to attract amazing women, start by changing yourself, because you have so much control over that. It's insane. And I should know, because I went from an absolute loser virgin for all of my teens and the majority of my early 20s until developing myself into someone today who quite happily goes around the world meeting amazing girls in different cities. So I know we have this ability to change. So let's hammer into what are the 3 ways that guys can change that you're probably not, well, you're probably not thinking of these first, put it that way. The first thing that a guy can do to become significantly more attractive is to work on his emotional stability. And I know what you're thinking, that's weird, that's feminine even maybe. But when you speak to girls about what are the qualities they're looking for in a guy, emotional stability always ranks really highly, because when a guy is volatile and unstable, he's likely really needy or she doesn't feel safe around him. It's such an easy quality that girls pick up on early in interactions to if she's going to be attracted to him. Can she just like poke him and he flies off the handle? Or if she withdraws slightly, does he become super needy? Emotional stability is way more powerful and attractive than you would expect when it comes to women. So how can you work on developing that? I've got 3 things that I definitely did to work on it myself, of understanding who I was. And one of the ways is simply self-awareness, that we become so blind, we're such complex creatures, but starting to develop a self-awareness around who you are and what your triggers are. And you can do that through multiple ways, like meditation is huge for this, journaling, but even like for me, like full disclosure, after an awful breakup, I was left devastated. And I did like counselling for 18 months where I was really starting to piece together what had happened and why was I so devastated by this. And I used that time to really understand myself. What are my triggers? What are my things that I just don't react that well to? It's like we all have our own unique things that seem to bother us. Like, even on a scale of, I like to say that we all fall down in a different way. Like your bad habits would be different to mine, that I don't really have much of an issue with alcohol. I could kind of quit it, leave it behind, and it wouldn't be a major issue for me. But I know some people, this is such a huge sticking point that it turns them into a different person. I think for me, it'd likely be like gambling that would take me down, because I love the competitive element of it. So I just don't really do it. And you need to take that mentality into the emotional realm of like, okay, what are my emotional triggers that apply to me specifically? Is it when I'm texting with a girl and she maybe doesn't respond in the way that I'm expecting, so that triggers some neediness? Or if I feel insecure because she looks really pretty today and now I've got some history with jealousy, so I don't want her to look that pretty and go out. All of these things need to be addressed, because a guy who's needy and volatile will always be incredibly unattractive to a girl. And the other ways that you can work on emotional stability is put yourself through difficult challenges. As a guy, you're built for difficult challenge, and if you've never tested yourself, you've never really put yourself into the fire, you don't have the capability to deal with it when it arrives at your doorstep later on. So if you've gone through that, like for me, I went on a 10-day silent meditation retreat. It was brutal. I didn't meditate before. I went in, it was 10 hours a day, and it was psychological hell for at least 4 days. But I came out of that a way stronger person. Like, I've quit my job and moved abroad and done all these challenges. Maybe it's for you running a marathon, whatever it is, but putting yourself into the fire so you have that ability to have seen yourself walk through the hurricane and come out the other side. You'll have self-respect. You'll understand what happens to you when you're in a stressful environment. And you'll also feel competent to deal with it. And then finally, develop relationships. One of the reasons that you might be emotionally unstable is because you don't have that secure network of friends around you, these people around you that you have relationships with. So you put it all on that relationship with a girlfriend, with that partner. She needs to be everything to you because you haven't got this network of other people set up around you so that if she withdraws, well, you don't have to chase her because you'd happily go spend time with all of your best friends, which is a really good marker for if you're secure in your relationships, is that would you be more than willing to spend time with your friends over your girlfriend? Because if not, your friends aren't good enough. You need to find some better friends. If you're not willing to ever spend time with them as a priority, then you need to find better friends. Because I remember that. Back growing up, I would always ditch my friends for a girl. But now I worked on having these amazing friendships. Well, I wouldn't do that because I love spending time with them. They reflect amazing sides of me, so I don't need to have to just chase the girl's validation. So emotional stability, absolutely key and can skyrocket a guy's attractiveness. Secondly, cheat sheet, drive. This is another one that when I've spoken with girls, it comes up time and time again that one of the most attractive things a guy can be is driven. It doesn't really matter about where he is now, but does he have a plan? Is he going somewhere? And it doesn't even have to be a good plan. He just needs a direction. I use the joke that maybe you as a guy, all you want to do is retire to Scunthorpe with a whole lot of fish. But at least he's got a plan. He knows what he wants to do. And he'll meet a girl that's well into fish that thinks that's an awesome plan. And that's what girls are really attracted to, a guy that has that vision of where he's going, and he doesn't have to have it perfect, but that he's just not completely content and that he's just going to kind of sit around and play Xbox till the end of his days. The fact that he's moving somewhere, because a guy who's driven is a guy who's passionate. He has emotions that girls feed off that thrill of emotions of how you make them feel. And for a guy, nothing makes him express emotion more than being driven towards a goal. And it is whatever that means to you. Maybe it's something athletic. Maybe you just are really driven to have an amazing family life. Whatever it is, career success. But you can articulate what you're aiming at. And girls will find that incredibly attractive. If I walk up to them and speak about, oh, this is where I'm wanting to be. It's like, I'm driven to do this because it means something to me. I want to be the #1 dating coach in the world because I experienced what it was growing up, having no one be interested in you, the loneliness of feeling like you were going to die alone. And I spent 10 years finding a way to fix that. So now when I help others, it makes me feel amazing because I know the pain they're going through. And I don't want anyone to have to suffer through that unnecessarily. So this is why I'm driven to do it. And if I communicate that, as you saw, unconsciously, I just bring out a side of me that has more energy and it doesn't feel stale. So whatever it is for you, find what is driving you, where you want to be, where you want to live, what you want to do. Maybe you just have a bucket list of things you want to tick off. You want to jump out of a plane, you want to do a bungee jump. These things are what make you attractive because they make you feel alive. We are experience having and making machines. The person that's unattractive to be around is the guy that isn't interested in any experience. Thirdly, and this one's a bit more of the classic one, you can work on your presentation. How do you present yourself to the world? Are you able to dress in a manner that just shows that you have some effort put into styling yourself in a way that would be attractive? Like, dude, look at me. I wear a black t-shirt that costs about £7 or £8, but it works because it's fitted and girls find it attractive, and I love it because it's a symbol of me. Being able to style yourself doesn't need to be expensive or complicated. I wear such basic stuff, but it allows me to appear better and present myself better, and girls perceive that to be significantly more attractive, because it means I care. It means I'm showing up in the world in a way where I don't want to just be a slob. And that's what they're drawn to. So working on a little bit of how do you present yourself? What shape are you in? You don't need to be in Arnold Schwarzenegger peak shape. But are you letting yourself go? How you present yourself is key, because so much of what we decide when we think if we're going to interact with this person, fortunately or unfortunately, is based on that initial physical appearance. And that doesn't mean everything's about looks, but it communicates something about you. If you're fit and in shape, it once again communicates that you're driven, you're disciplined. These are really attractive traits for a woman. So the low-hanging fruit for a guy is to lose a bit of weight, grow a beard. Really helps. I would look like a child, and I have quite like a round face. So having a beard helps make it just look more shapely, makes me look less like a child and slightly more masculine, because yeah, I think I need the boost, put it that way. And then just stylize your hair in a way that will suit you. I always recommend growing out your hair first and then just going to a really good hairdresser and just letting them pick a style that will suit you. And this isn't exclusively in the physical realm. Presenting yourself is also, how do you speak? What is your body language like? Are you able to stand up straight when you're talking to a girl, or are you like crunched up begging for her attention? Being able to present yourself in a manner that is attractive will immediately elevate you. And these three things alone is all I'm suggesting. That if you can work on your emotional stability, get some drive, and then present yourself in a attractive manner, you will not have any issues trying to find your dream girl. Because the moment that you come across her, she's going to be fascinated by you, of just like, damn, who is this dude? And starting to see yourself as working on that as a matter of progress. And don't get caught in this loop that is dangerous of thinking that you're not good enough till you do this. You could have a partner right now, but whether they would be your ideal partner, maybe not. You have less options, less choice, and you'd be able to probably have a worse relationship because you've not done those stages of development. The issue guys fall into is thinking that they're not good enough till X, and chasing X and saying that I'm only good enough if I get that, which isn't the case. You can have it all, but we live in a real reality where presenting yourself and working on yourself, it's necessary. You don't get to have the beautiful model whilst you sit on a sofa eating Cheetos every day. It's not the case. But it doesn't mean that you can't be that guy. Every guy has the ability to stretch that. Look back at some of my old videos. There are photos of what I used to look like growing up, and I looked funky as hell. I didn't have any girlfriends till I was like 21, 22. You can absolutely change yourself and start to unlock dating with the most beautiful, amazing girls that you really like. So, if this appeals to you, go for it. Attack these three stages and start to change your dating life, because it's not worth being alone. It's not worth being alone because you didn't put the effort in. And I found out 5 distinct habits that every guy should be building during his 20s and have established in, so he can have the dating success he wants to have in life. So to identify those 5 habits, check out this video here. And if you incorporate them into your life, I guarantee your dream girl is just around the corner.